Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Hope. This is my 3-month-old son Elliot, and I am married to my wonderful husband Christopher, who is currently away in basic training for the U.S. Army. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload videos. We do lots of vlogs, and I'm trying to start to do some more sit-down mommy lifestyle type videos, so stay tuned if you're interested. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than normal. Normally I post vlogs, and today I'm going to be posting a sit-down video about my labor and delivery story. I see a bunch of mothers doing this on YouTube, and I love to watch them, so I figured why not film one for my channel. So yes, let's just get into this video. So my labor and delivery, I was induced, and that is because my husband was leaving for his basic training about a week and a half after Elliot's due date. And we wanted to have time with Elliot, and so I asked my doctor, is there any way I could get induced? So I was induced on October 9th, and I actually wasn't technically induced. I went to the hospital, we went to the hospital October 9th at I think 6 p.m. and they gave me it's basically a pill that they put into your cervix to soften your cervix, because you cannot go into labor without your cervix being softened. So they gave me, I think they gave me 2 in total of those, and you have them in you for I think 3 hours, and then they can give you another dose, and sometimes that pill does send you into labor, and in my case it did. So I got 2 pills, and at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning I started having steady contractions, and I was actively in labor at this point. I was in a lot of pain, and I am a pain wimp, but during my labor I was in a lot of pain. It got to the point where I was shaking, and I got really, really nauseous, and they gave me Zofran for my nausea, and that helped. And then around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, they came to check me, and I believe that I was only 3 or 4 centimeters dilated after I had been in labor for maybe 5 hours, I think. And so we were asking, my husband and I were the only ones at the hospital. We weren't going to have anyone come until an hour or 2 before Elliot was going to be born. And so we were asking them, what time do we need to tell our family to come? And they said, well, you don't need to tell them to come until you're about 8 centimeters dilated. And I was like, okay, so when do you think that'll be? And they said it shouldn't be until late afternoon. So I think at around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I was then able to get my epidural, because I was 4 centimeters dilated, I believe. And so I did. I got an epidural, and luckily for me, I did not have any contractions while they were putting the epidural in, but I was so scared that I was going to have contractions. I couldn't stand up on both of my feet. I could only stand on one of my feet for some reason, because I was in so much pain. And I hadn't slept really all night. They gave me some pain medicine before I could have my epidural, and I slept for an hour or 2 on that. It made me really loopy, and I ended up just sleeping, and so that was all the sleep I had had. So when they gave me my epidural, I ended up napping. And around 12:30, they came in to check me again, and I was completely out of it. I was still half asleep, And my doctor said, oh, you're 10 centimeters dilated. And of course, my husband kind of starts to panic, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, does she have to push now, or can we wait until our parents get here? And she said that she was going to check to see if she could see Elliot's head, and if she couldn't, then she was going to let me nap for another 30 minutes because I was extremely tired, and then we were going to start pushing. Well, she, at this point, Christopher's on the phone with my mom and his mom, telling them, like, hey, you need to get to the hospital now. And everyone lives at least 25 minutes away from the hospital. And he called them and he was like, you need to get to the hospital now. She's 10 centimeters dilated. And they told me that I wouldn't be even 8 centimeters dilated until, like, late afternoon. So, my mom and Christopher's mom both rushed to the hospital. My doctor checked for where Elliot's head was at, and she said that she could see his head, and we did not have time for me to nap, and that I needed to push. At this point, my mom and Christopher's mom had rushed into the room. I was still so out of it. I was still so tired. I had just woken up 15 minutes prior to this, and they threw my legs up. I couldn't feel my legs at all. They threw my legs up, and they were trying to walk me through breathing through pushing. And I did not understand. I kept asking them to repeat themselves. And all I remember really is my mom coming into the room, bent over with her hands on her knees, like, because she couldn't breathe because they both, like, ran into the hospital. And I started pushing, and I pushed Elliot out in 4 pushes. And yes, I maybe pushed for 15 or 20 minutes, maybe, I don't know. I only pushed like 4 sequences, 4 times of them saying, okay, push, and he was out. He was ready. And I guess that his shoulder was stuck inside of me, and one of the nurses like got on top of me and pushed him out. But I don't recall. I do not remember that at all. I was so out of it that there was a lady on top of me, and I had no idea. So yeah, my labor and delivery was a little bit crazy. It all happened very quick. So I was ready to go into labor. My body would have thrown me into labor within the next few days, my doctor said, if I wouldn't have been induced, which I technically wasn't induced. They never gave me the actual induction medicine. They just gave me the cervix softening pill. And now we have a beautiful, healthy 3-month, almost 4-month-old baby boy. Say hi to everyone. Say hello. You're not gonna say hello? Can you say hello to them? Huh? He is awesome. We love him. We wouldn't have traded the way my labor and delivery went for the world. I'm so glad that I did get induced. Well, not technically, but I'm so glad that we went to the hospital. And I had him just 2 weeks before Christopher had to leave to go to basic training. And here in 27 days, Christopher and Elliot and I will all be reunited as a family, and soon after we will be moving to Texas. So that was my labor and delivery story. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.